say anything can happen on Wrestle Lost. Welcome to Wrestle Lost Falls.
Ah, yes, you can say that. Yes, it's the wrestling gotta be cast.
The sniper.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wrestle Lost. If y'all know what's been happening, all I'm gonna say is what the fuck. But to get us going, here's Johnny.
Alright, first start with some unfortunate injury and health news. In the last couple of days, Impact Wrestling, they have suffered a couple of major injuries. Mickey James picked up an injury, I'm not sure what, but because of it, she wasn't able to wrestle Jordynne Grace for the Impact title or Impact Women's title at Sacrifice last night. The bigger injury came from Josh Alexander. Unfortunately, has had to relinquish the Impact World title because he had a torn bicep, which he had surgery on yesterday. And so next month at Rebellion, he was going to take on Steve Macklin, who for WWE marks as the former Steve Cutler. He was going to defend the title against Macklin, but now Steve Macklin is going to wrestle a to-be-announced wrestler for the vacant Impact World title.
Yeah, there was also... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say there was a bit of another scare. Action Andretti supposedly suffered an injury as well, but he just came to Twitter a couple of hours ago and said that he's fine, no serious injury, and thank you to the medical staff for checking him out.
Okay, well, that's good. Alexa Bliss, we haven't seen her since the Rumble. She said she was going to be taking some time off, and found out this week that on a visit to the doctor, she found she had a spot of cancer, skin cancer, which she had a biopsy done, so they were able to treat that as well as other cancerous cells that they found. And she said it was a quick recovery, maybe about a week. And she is slated to be backstage at WrestleMania next weekend.
So let the rumor mill run wild. Yeah, I saw a picture that she put up a couple of days ago, and she said, "Scars are healing up nicely, and so are my piercings." So, hell yeah, she's out there getting new piercings and shit. A little bit of a scare, but I'm glad she's all right.
Also, Randy Orton is also said to be going to be backstage at WrestleMania as well, or at least in Los Angeles. So maybe a return at WrestleMania.
If he returns, that would be a very big surprise, because we hadn't heard anything from him until now. And even that isn't set in stone. So I haven't heard him say anything. I just know he's going to be there, is what they're reporting. So
yeah. Another name was added to the inductees for the Hall of Fame this week. Andy Kaufman, who I'm assuming is going to be inducted by Jerry Lawler.
I don't know who else it would be.
That's one of the things we discussed about as soon as we heard that Andy Kaufman was going into the Hall of Fame. It can't be anybody else. Right. It doesn't make sense for anybody else to do it. So King or bust.
Yeah, yeah. Bray Wyatt is still missing, and we're 7 days out right now from WrestleMania, so we're under the assumption that he's not going to make WrestleMania because they announced that they're having the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown or WrestleMania SmackDown, I guess they're calling it now, and Lashley is going to be one of the competitors, and typically the Battle Royal is where the wrestlers who aren't booked on the rest of the card are. So we'll see. There's some other rumors going around. They're still trying to get Stone Cold to wrestle at WrestleMania. He may be a potential Lashley opponent. Then we've also heard possible match between LA Knight and Stone Cold as well. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, about Stone Cold. If they were gonna get him for a match, it would have happened already. It would have already been announced and signed and all that shit because he's up there in age. Let's face it. Stone Cold needs to know more than a week in advance. So yeah, that doesn't seem to me like it'll happen. And as far as Bray Wyatt, look, man, we're a week out. All right, this shit ain't gonna happen. I'm very disappointed that it's not gonna happen. But as long as he's fine, in a way, if he's working on getting better, whatever this illness is, I'm fine with it. Just bummed out still. What's up, Zach? Welcome to the Bummed Out Show for now.
Yeah, although in the last few months I have seen Instagram videos of Stone Cold working out, so well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. See, I'm trying to think of anything else that we could talk about in the news before we talk about the that came out yesterday or Thursday. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to set this up and I'm going to let Freddie take over. So on Thursday, Dave Meltzer was asked why the build between Moxley and CM Punk was so short before All Out, and Meltzer answered that it was something that had to do with Punk getting cleared and something about legal action being taken and all this other stuff, which CM Punk had replied, and he replied with an Instagram post, which he deleted after, but a lot of people saw this Instagram post, including Freddie. So Freddie's going to share that with us, and he's going to read through it, and then we're going to discuss it, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Okay, so it says, sigh. I wasn't clear to come back to wrestle yet. The plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I've never seen a Rocky movie. Which, what the fuck, Punk?
That's
dude.
first problem.
Yeah, problem number one. And I thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. But I'll never put a company above my health ever again.
So basically, he was saying that he was actually hadn't been cleared yet to wrestle when they brought him in for that match against Moxley before All Out. But he was forced to anyway.
Yeah, and ever since he put out that tweet or that post on Instagram and then he quickly deleted it, some people have been making the comparison of this, if this is true, of them forcing him to do these matches even though he hadn't been cleared, that it's starting to sound a lot like the shit he was going through in WWE.
Yeah.
Which we all know how that ended up going. Pipe bomb and out the door, baby.
Yeah. Well, actually, the pipe bomb happened a few years before.
Yeah, but that was a sign. We should have taken that as a sign, right?
Yeah. Even, I mean, well, okay, I don't want to get into semantics because it was actually it was a promo that Vince approved. So, but anyway, yeah, because see, a lot of people have been hinting last few weeks that he may be set to come back to AEW. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I told Freddie, I said, I mean, we haven't ever heard of any official statement from AEW about a release. So I don't know. Maybe there's a possibility we might see him in LA next weekend.
I don't know about all that now,
Yeah.
but here's one of the things I'm gonna say real quick. I don't think he would make a return to WWE until obviously all of this gets sorted out, until Tony makes an official statement with AEW about CM Punk's status.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to tell what the truth is, because one of the things I also heard, because even though we haven't heard much about what truly happened at Brawl Out, one of the things I did hear today is after the brawl happened, that him and Kenny actually sat down and spoke face to face.
Yeah.
And one of the things Punk and Kenny both said were that they had no issues with each other. That Kenny was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Which just shows to me that maybe Punk did try and maybe talk things out, but that maybe the Young Bucks weren't having it. Little by little, more information is going to start coming out. But yeah, that stuff on Instagram that he's been posting has been a little bit wild, because I have another post that he put up, and I didn't read this one to you because it's quite long. And I don't know if Andrew saw it, because he's been hanging around social media a little bit more lately. So I don't know what all he has seen. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up this next one so I can read it, if it'll let me do this right. God damn it. I don't know why it's been doing that. Every time I try and pull up something, I pull up what I need to pull up, but then it always goes to the Sammy Guevara video.
Maybe it wants you to show us that.
Yeah, but I don't want to show that at the moment. So this is something that has been floating around for a couple of years. Who came up with this story? I don't know. It's a fake story, but it was still shared by CM Punk. So the fake story says, I met Shawn Michaels at a restaurant once. We'd accidentally been given his table. Apparently, he was fond of the restaurant and had a specific table he liked, and the management had messed up and gotten their days wrong. It was Tuesday and they thought he was coming on Thursday or something like that. Anyway, the manager, completely embarrassed, comes by and says, I'm so sorry, but we'd like to move you to another table if you could be troubled, and we'll gladly compensate you for the cost of the meal and any other meal you'd like while you're in town. My sister and cousin were both like, yeah, that's cool. And I kind of played the asshole a bit. I'm sorry, I just don't understand. We've been here for 15 minutes, we've just ordered. Can we just finish our meal here? Then, out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels shows up next to the manager and says, Paul, these guys can finish. We'll be at the bar. I got some time. And Di, being a big HBK fan, said, oh wow, I had no idea. Please feel free to give them the table. Shawn was grateful, shook my hand, and said thanks. Then gave me a card with his number on it and told me to give him a call later. After working up the nerve, I gave him a call that night, and to make a long story short, we had a glorious 11-month love affair, man on man, that I shall never forget. Our bodies intertwined as one, and from the beauty of Morocco to the French Riviera. I can't read that last part because some Streamlab thing is in the way. But then they said, and we made glorious gay love to each other on 6 of the 7 continents.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, look,
What,
man.
you can't go to Antarctica?
Probably not. But this is the type of wild shit that CM Punk has posted. And this is just 2 of 3. The next one isn't really that bad, depending on how you look at it. So let me pull that one up real quick. And just to get an idea, this is a post by Rey Mysterio about the Dominic angle. And god damn it, Sammy, stop. Every time I do it, that happens.
It's because that was the very first video.
Okay. So this is what Ray said. Every man has his limits. Don't forget, she's not only your mother, but my wife. See you at WrestleMania. And CM Punk responded and said, good for you, Ray. I've wanted to punch him for 13 years. So...
That'd make him, what, 8?
I think
How's
so.
he now, what, 25?
No, like 12.
How old is Dominic? Was it barely 20?
He's 25.
Okay.
So that'd be 12, yeah. So
Yeah.
he wanted to punch. So he admits he wanted to punch a 12-year-old kid. That's
Yeah.
just
Oh, you know
right
what?
there.
It was probably in that one segment they had on SmackDown, you know, when they were in the ring when Punk was doing the Straight Edge Society thing. And he had Ray had the whole family in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably when it happened. Look, man.
But still, you're admitting you want to punch a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to punch 5-year-old MJF. So.
Yeah,
But you didn't know 5-year-old MJF.
Yeah,
No.
you hadn't been around him. Like, we didn't even...
Yeah.
We weren't even entertaining the idea of MJF being as big of a douchebag as he is right now. Which he does very good. So let's just leave it at that.
Even as a 5-year-old.
Even as a 5-year-old. I'm just
But
trying
you
to...
didn't know him when he was 5. That's the point I'm making. You
Yeah,
didn't know
I
him
know.
at 5 or 12.
I know. Yeah.
I'm just finding it real hard to understand what is going on in CM Punk's mind right now. Between calling out Jericho, Hangman, Colt Cabana again, the Young Bucks, and just
Tony
saying, yeah, and Tony. You're
He can call out
burning.
Meltzer for all I care, though.
Yeah, but Meltzer, we don't really care about as much as we
Yeah.
should, I guess. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to find it real hard to understand what is going through his mind these last couple of days, because before this post came out, it was looking real good that there was a chance for him to make his way back to AEW.
Maybe he don't
Yeah.
want to come back.
But that's okay, so maybe he doesn't, right? But I had also heard that he read a book that kind of gave him and inspired him to
Yeah.
feel
This
like
came
he
from-
can come
from-
back.
This came from Dax Harwood. He had an interview with Sean from Fightful and said that CM Punk read Steve Kern's book. Steve Kern was Skinner in WWF, and that there was Steve Kern had a backstage altercation with Kogo Beware, similar to Brawl Out, and that Jerry Lawler called them into his office the next day, and they squashed it. And that's what CM Punk said. He liked he liked that story. So maybe there was a clue there that he might be coming back. But because CM or Dax said that CM Punk said that he fell in love with being a wrestler again, which is good, because there was one time, especially when he was in UFC, that CM Punk didn't want to have anything to do with wrestling.
Yeah. There was a very long time there where he didn't want anything to do with anybody, whether it be WWE or any other company. Ring of Honor, AEW wasn't around back then. So, yeah, to have the chance that he had in another company, that was an amazing chance. And for it to go down the way it did, and for there to be a chance for him to be able to come back, it had me a little bit excited, no lie, because a good amount of time had gone by. Maybe clearer heads prevail, and he did talk to Kenny that night, like we know now for sure. And yeah, I felt like there was a good chance of stuff happening again. But
And,
then he decided to go to Instagram and do all this shit.
And it was just also announced this week that AEW has changed the venue for All Out this year. Instead of having it in the Now Arena, it's now going to be at the United Center. And what happened the last time that AEW was at the United Center?
Exactly.
When CM Punk debuted on Rampage.
I don't think they would make the change unless if they had something big planned. And maybe they did. But what's the plan now?
Right.
Is the question. Because
right.
old Phil Brooks over there is talking shit again, and
Especially
we don't
when you
know
insult
what
the
else
boss
is gonna say.
And the main guy in the company, the top guy in the company.
Yeah. So here's my question to you guys. And it's straightforward. It's pretty much the only question that everybody keeps asking themselves. How do you all feel about this? What do you think, knowing what little we know again and what we've seen from Punk these last couple of days. Do you think all of his bridges are burned? What else is left?
I think as far as AEW, they may be.
It might be. Yeah.
And if you're gonna include, and if you're talking AEW like we are, that also includes Ring of Honor. He can't do that
Yeah.
shit anymore because it's under Tony Khan.
Right.
It just has me so confused. Things were looking so good, man. It was looking like there was a real good chance, and I was happy. And then this shit happens, and it just bummed me out. Zach said, wasn't there a rumor that he isn't well liked in the locker room because of what he gets paid or something? That probably had a lot to do with it, as well as his ego. Because let's face it, it's CM Punk. So, with the way he went out of WWE and as happy as he found himself, that all got a little bit muddied, I think, with some of the stuff that was going on. And his ego just got the best of him, I guess. But yeah, if some of the stuff he claimed is right, it's a bit of a shittier situation than we originally thought, because you can't force someone to wrestle when they're injured. And it's
Right.
and if it is the truth,
I mean,
I
that
just,
could be a potential loss.
yeah. I just don't see Tony as the kind of person to do that type of thing, though.
Me neither.
No,
It
I
doesn't
don't think
sound
so.
like
As
Tony.
big,
So we
as
have
big
to.
as the
So we have to ask:
big-
is this post true?
well, that's what I'm wondering too. Maybe this is all just a work.
Yeah. Could this post be false? Because I don't think Tony would force someone to wrestle when they're not cleared.
Because
And
Dax
somebody John
Harwood's
losing,
been.
John losing to him. John's lost to a lot of people. Why would he not want to lose to Punk? It makes no sense. He's lost to Hangman twice in the last month.
Yeah.
Well, Punk was saying that he doesn't like being asked to lose to people. He has never been asked to lose. You know. And I mean that happens every once in a while. Yes, these outcomes are predetermined, and sometimes, you have to take a loss. You can't win every match.
Unless you're
not go for
Jade Cargill.
fucking yeah. I was just about to say that. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've like, people are gonna talk, and a lot of different stuff is gonna be said. But one of the things I heard today as well was, what if this is all a work?
Yeah, like I just said.
Yeah. What if this is just the story they're throwing out there for him to
Tony
come back
Khan
into the
on it.
fold? Yeah, and everybody's just in on it. Maybe they did come to an agreement. They squashed the beef, and now they're just like, we got this opportunity to fuck with them. So let's make a story out of it.
And again, and maybe they came up with it because they heard all the rumors that he may be coming back.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If this is a storyline they're trying to roll with, it's It's what we discussed, and it's what a lot of other people discussed whenever Brawl Out happened. Is if they can come to an agreement, use it to your advantage and turn it into a story. Turn it into storyline. And we could possibly be in that scenario. It's sick as fuck. It's twisted to use this against us. But fuck if it's not a great way to flip it around and make it work for you, you know?
And then if he is coming back at all that, we gotta wait 5 months, 6 months.
I'm gonna lose my mind in those 6 months, man. My mind these last couple of days has already been racing as to what is going on in CM Punk's mind. And something like that shouldn't have my mind racing so much. But it does, because it's CM Punk. So, before we move on from this, one of the last question I want to ask you guys is, do you think this is forgivable? Do you see if all of this is true and these are CM Punk's true thoughts? Do you think there's any way Tony or anybody could forgive him and want to work with him again? Or is this truly it for CM Punk?
I mean, it could be possible, but I mean, AEW, they've been trying to get CM Punk since they first announced the promotion. CM Punk didn't decide to come in until
Year 3.
until he saw that AEW was doing good. They were killing it over WWE. He didn't want to be in an upstart promotion. He wanted to wait until they had proven themselves.
Kind
Andrew?
of sounds a little selfish to me, but anyway.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You
And
didn't. And if this is true, and he ratted Tony and John out like that, I think the bridges are burned, dude. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I spent most of my day today listening to other people's thoughts, Busted Open Radio and different places like that, Wrestle Talk, Sean, Fightful. I was all over the place today, just listening to what people truly thought of this. And I would say I gained a lot of people's thoughts, mostly from Busted Open Radio, because they take callers. And a lot of what I was hearing was, if this is the Punk we would be getting him just coming back full ego, not giving a shit about anybody but himself again. It's the CM Punk we don't want. We want the happy, I'm glad to be back CM Punk, not the egotistical
that we
asshole.
Saw. Yeah, we want the one that we saw in August 2021.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because I've said it many times on here. I am a very big CM Punk fan. But if this is what we're gonna get, if this is the side of him that we're gonna get, I just don't want it. And that's what a lot of people are saying. You know? It's better to leave your image somewhat intact than to ruin it more than it already has been. You know? It's a weird spot. But to wrap it up, he did this to himself. and he's the one that's going to have to live with it. We're going to suffer because of it because we're not going to get that great CM Punk run we all wanted. But in the end, he did it to himself. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I mean, you can just keep your opinions to yourself.
yeah.
If you're gonna be like that, or at least do what all the other wrestlers do, and once you retire, just write a book.
Yes. I, I honestly, I would read a book from CM Punk.
Hmm.
Give it to me in audio format, actually, so I can listen to it at work. But yeah, just if this is how you're gonna do it, it'd be better to stay away and just vent somewhere else in a book. Like,
And I don't know if he has that many supporters in WWE either, because yeah, like Seth Rollins was saying he was a cancer, just like Jericho said.
yeah,
And
he's
I know
definitely pissed off all the wrong people.
and I know he doesn't care too much for Triple H.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's one of the main reasons why I think we wouldn't see him in WWE in a week. If that's a far off thing to think that's actually gonna happen. But hey, money talks, man. And if this is what he's saying, and Triple H caught wind of it, and they were able to work out a deal and set their differences aside, good for them. But how long is that gonna last? There's too many questions that would need answering before I would feel comfortable with bringing CM Punk in. But well, once again, we got blindsided by something we didn't think was going to happen this week. So it's still fresh. He's still on Instagram. We just gotta see if he posts anything else and quickly screenshot it because he will delete that shit. So
At least he did this the week before WrestleMania, and not during WrestleMania week.
Who knows? He might post something
Bro.
next week just to.
there's
Yeah.
still time, man.
Because that could deter a lot of attention away from WrestleMania.
Yeah. And that's the last thing that should be happening on
And
Mania week.
as many stories and shows that are going to be happening anyway because of WrestleMania. All the other promotions having shows on WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
And
too
coming
many
up-
things happening for news like this to be breaking.
And coming up before we end today, I'm going to give you a list of just some of the events taking place.
Yeah. That just goes to show how much there's going to be going on this week. This is his shortened list of things that are happening. The list is much longer than we think, but yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and see what happens if anything happens this week, but we hope not. Let's just try and focus on Mania and see what happens. And to further that, we're going to go ahead and get into our moments of the week to see what we think about Mania. So I'm going to go over to Johnny and get his moment for WWE this week.
Okay, well, my moment was the promo on Raw. We had another Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes promo where Roman came out. He did his acknowledge me, but then Cody came out. Once Cody was in the ring, and Roman started talking to him about how he can never he never sticks around to see things through. He always runs away. That he didn't like being Stardust, so he ran away from that. He started his own. He mentioned he started his own promotion, which he couldn't get over it in, so he ran away from that as well.
Which was a good line.
That was
Yeah,
a
it
real
was.
good
It
line.
was. I'll pop for that. I'm just waiting for someone to mention the letters AEW in a promo. I mean, I know Sammy did a few years ago, but that was when they were still fresh. But anyway, Roman said that Cody doesn't need to worry about April 2nd. He needs to worry about April 3rd, the morning after, when he gets up and after he lost and he realizes that he couldn't get the job done that he wanted to. He couldn't win the title, and he's going to end up running away from this as well. So Cody turned it around on him, told Roman that he should worry about April 3rd, because once Cody beats him at Mania, Jey Uso is going to leave him. Once Jey Uso leaves him, once Jey leaves him, Jimmy's going to leave him. Then Solo's going to leave him. And he specifically said that then Paul Heyman's going to go back to being advocate. So makes you wonder if he's saying he's going to go back to Brock Lesnar. And that actually got and he went on to saying that once all this happens, that he'll be a Roman without a reins, and he'll be a chief without a tribe. That was I love that line too. That was very nice delivery on that.
Yeah.
And those words got into Roman's head for the first time. Somebody is actually able to get into Roman's head, play these mind games. Roman looked down, and then Cody started to talking to Solo, saying that he knows what it feels like to be alongside, to be a second generation wrestler alongside another second generation champion. Talking about when he was in Legacy with Randy Orton, and that he told Solo, he said, "You're not ready." Solo went for the Samoan Spike. Cody blocked it. Solo went to attack him a second time. This time Roman stopped him, and Roman shared a look with Solo, like as if Roman doesn't think that Solo's ready either. So now this Monday on Raw, Cody's gonna face Solo. So
Isn't it a street fight?
yeah.
So we'll find out if he's ready. Oh.
Yeah, and this is big because, like I said, this is the first time someone's been able to get in Roman's head.
Yeah.
Play those mind games.
And also at the very beginning of this promo, Cody asked Roman, "You want to talk?" And Paul stepped forward. He goes, "I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to hear you talk. I want to hear him talk."
Yeah. So Cody's fire on the mic. Like the mind game he's playing against Roman, no one's been able to do ever.
Yeah.
Like Roman had no comeback.
Yeah.
And
Also,
he
like
always has a comeback.
When he says, "Would we stop mentioning my father? He's not going to show up. We know he's not going to show up. Next time I hear it, I'm going to vomit."
Yes.
Which, not gonna lie, was a little bit harsh, but at the same time, I get it. Because even though you are in a bit doing the storyline of, I want to get this title because it's the one my dad was never able to have. It's about Cody, not him. Like, that was the origin of it, but now it's become so much more. It's become about so much more. So it's about proving Roman wrong about everything he said. Like, he's not going to run away from this. So, the only question I have from all of this, which ties into SmackDown because that's when they made Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes for this coming Monday. What's going to happen in this match? Who comes out the winner?
Cody, you do not let the number one contender lose the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I also
or the week
think,
before.
But see, it's interesting now that it's a street fight. That means you're gonna have to hand Solo his first pinfall loss. If it wasn't a no DQ, I would say there could have been a DQ finish. That way Solo doesn't take a pin, but Cody would still get the win. So unfortunately, I think Solo's going to take his first loss here.
Yeah, because it is a street fight, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yep.
Isn't? But then again, it could evolve. It could evolve into like a 6-man if the Usos show up and Sammy and Kevin show up that way.
Possibly.
You know how they're famous at changing the matches halfway through.
Well, that was a Vince thing, though.
I mean, he's around, but he's not around.
But it also keeps Solo having that undefeated streak if one of the Usos take the pin instead of him.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. I just don't know which one would be better to do here. I think Solo loses more by cleanly losing to Cody. As much as they have protected Solo.
Yeah.
That's how I think that would feel.
Because he is the muscle.
Yeah.
Behind the bloodline.
But
also you can't let Cody lose a week before Mania either. So I don't know what they're going to do.
and that could also play in the bloodline falling apart by having Solo lose.
Yeah.
They could.
I don't know, man. They put us in a weird spot because either way, unless if it's like a DQ finish or some shit, but it is a street fight or whatnot, so that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting on Monday to see what happens in this match. Me personally, because it's not gonna be like a straight up clean contest. Usos are gonna be involved. Pretty sure Roman's not gonna be at Raw.
No, but he will be at SmackDown.
Yeah.
And
for the final showdown.
Yes.
Final face down. Yeah. I don't know what you do here. I would have, and it sounds weird to say this, but I would have Cody lose just so the win at Mania is like the big moment for him. But he's also going to lose by shenanigans. Usos. So.
But I was going to say, how can you do shenanigans if it's a street fight?
It doesn't, just because it's a street fight doesn't make it fair, air quotes, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see them. So now that we got Johnny's moment in there, I'm going to go over to Drew and get his moment for WWE this week.
Well, we're going to SmackDown Friday night. We had you know where I'm going. We had Ray versus LA Knight. Ray was, what's the word, dominating? And then Dominic came out, got him off kilter a little bit. And then Ray's at ringside. We see Angie and Aaliyah. ringside. Ray goes for the 619. Dominic trips him, and LA Knight gets the win on Ray. So after that, Dominic grabs the mic. He challenges Ray to another match, which for the last month he's been challenging Ray to a match, and he's been refusing. So Dominic gets out of the ring, walks over to the ringside, and starts talking to Angie and Aaliyah. Then he messes up by screaming in his mother's face. That's when Ray walked over and just pops him right in the face and says, "You want your match? You got it. I'll fight you at WrestleMania." And yeah, Ray actually putting his kid in place for yelling at Mom. That sounds. We were all wondering what it would take to get him to fight his son, but I figured it'd be either lay hands on one mom or sister. But yelling in Mom's face is good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
What? Oh. Yeah, he just told Mom, "Shut up!" Screaming in her face.
Look,
I'm
man.
surprised she didn't. No, I'm surprised she didn't just reach over and smack him when he did.
I think
because I know if I would have done that, my mama would have smacked the hell out of me.
Yeah. I obviously we still have a week left, so there's not much more that you can really do now that the match has been set up. There would be no point in doing something else to Angie or Aaliyah, or if you were thinking of doing something to Conan, that would make no sense. But yeah, getting in your mom's face and yelling at her to shut up, it's very disrespectful for you to do that just to a mother in general, but you're gonna do that to a Mexican mom? Oh, hell no.
Hey,
And Johnny knows it better than
I said,
anybody else.
Like I said, it doesn't only have to be Mexican moms. My mom would have
No,
done
dude.
Well, no. If you see the title of our podcast today, you know that the Mexican moms, they'll hit you with anything. Okay.
Yeah.
They'll hit you with
but like I said, it's not only Mexican mom. My mom would have done it, do the same thing.
My grandmother used to hit us with spice water.
Yeah, I've been.
I got hit with wooden spoons too.
Oh, I have an aunt who used to hit her sons with a hairbrush, and she even broke that brush one time.
Yeah. Don't mess with Mom. That's all there is to it. Don't mess with Mom.
Don't mess with Mom, man. Because see, this is what else happens when freaking Dominic yells in his mom's face. You get CM Punk saying he even wanted to beat your ass back in the day. So, yeah, that's exactly why you shouldn't say shit like that. Here's what gets me though. All of this was good. I'm glad that it finally happened, and I'm glad that it set up the match. We knew the match was gonna happen, but I'm glad it finally got there. I hate that I always end up on the side of Twitter with all these fucking idiots that love to talk and just think they know everything, and they're just there to talk their stupidity and piss people off. So I'm on Twitter. It was the following day because as soon as SmackDown ended, since we didn't have a Rampage, I just went to sleep because we had to go to work the following day. So went straight to sleep, didn't even go to Twitter or anything like that, but I did end up there the following day, and somebody had already posted the clip of what happened. And just like always, I go to the comments just to get a general idea of what people are thinking about it, how much they liked it or didn't like it and stuff like that. And someone under the comments said, Man, if Angie was a Mexican mom, she wouldn't stand for that shit. She would beat his ass. She is Mexican, you fucking dumbass. All these fans that think they know everything, talking about how, man, if she was Mexican, she would beat his ass. She is Mexican. That
That's
just
not
goes
part
to
of the
show how much of
storyline,
a
people.
fan you are. Yeah. Stuff like that is what I get issues with. Is when.
If this happened in AEW, she would have hit him back.
Yeah, she would have. You know what? I'll even go as far as to say this, because this seems to be the big thing to do. This is the move that it's done by surprise a couple of times in WWE, but this is the move that is the go-to in AEW. So, if this was happening in AEW, Angie would have hit a Canadian destroyer on Dominic. And it still would have looked better than that douchebag Bad Bunny's fucking Canadian destroyer. Yeah, I'll go there. I'll bring your bitch ass out. But that's the only time I'm going to do it today. Yeah, man. Just if you're going to talk some shit on Twitter and try and make yourself sound like you know what you're talking about, at least get the ethnicity right. That's it. That's all I had to say about that. As far as my moment, I am so confused as to what the fuck Charlotte is. Because whenever she made her return and she won the title the night of her return, ever since then, she has pretty much been presented as a face. Which, like it or not, whether it was working or not, that's what WWE was trying to do with her. But here she comes out and just starts talking shit and realizing that the crowd wasn't going to be behind her no matter what. And she just went back to her old ways. Just Charlotte being the full heel.
I think what I think happened was the crowd didn't like her promo because she was going through the list of things that she is and all this stuff, and the crowd didn't like it. And they started going, "What?" And she got kind of threw her off, so she reacted to the crowd.
Yeah, I just had to go with this moment for me this week because of how confusing I found it. And they had to have known that this wasn't going to work. Trying to make Charlotte a face wasn't going to work, especially if you're gonna have her going up against Rhea. And we all know how much people love Rhea. She can do the heelish shit with Judgment Day, and we'd still love her. I mean, okay, so there was a segment a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot who it was in the ring that was like, "Oh, so you're gonna sick Pugsley and Wednesday Addams on me?" And she was talking about and they were talking about Damian Priest and Rhea.
No, Damian Priest was Lurch.
Okay, Damian Priest was Lurch.
Dominic was Pugsley, and she was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, "That's such a great compliment. I enjoyed it."
Yeah, she was happy about it. How can you not love Rhea, dude? Like, she's sitting there blushing and shit over somebody calling her Wednesday when the rest of the Judgment Day is all serious and shit. Yeah, just little moments like that, dude, that I see from Rhea and her going up against Charlotte for the championship. I knew it wasn't going to work with Charlotte. They were going to have to bounce back to her being a heel. So they should have just never done the face shit to begin with. So that just proves to me that one of two things is gonna happen. Either Rhea's gonna win and we're gonna be happy, or Charlotte's gonna win and we're gonna be like, fuck.
So is this one of those times where he'll change mid promo? He'll turn mid promo.
Yeah, I would say so. This is one of those times.
Is she the new Big Show?
She's not a.
Have multiple heel and face turns.
Yeah. The only problem, and this is a hot take, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is just how I feel. Big Show is more talented than Charlotte.
Agree.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know how I feel about that. So.
And yes, Charlotte. Everything that you've gotten is it's all because of your dad.
Yeah.
It's all nepotism.
Yeah. It's all because of your name. You're decent in ring, but your name is what's carried your career.
Your last name wasn't Flair.
Andrade wouldn't have married you.
Oof. Oof.
Damn.
Dog. I didn't even go there. Holy shit. Damn. All right. On that
I was just
note,
gonna say, if your name wasn't Flair, you'd be somebody like, you'd be comparable to what, Emma?
see, this is what happens whenever we get into shit like this, and then somebody says something, whether it be me or in this case Johnny, and then something pops into my mind, and I can't stop myself from saying shit at times. So all I want to know, and this is a question for Charlotte, she's never going to see this, so I can say whatever I want. Hey Charlotte, how's that Mexican taste? I'm just saying. Tastes good, right? Tastes like tajin? What you got, bro?
Quick, somebody clip it and send it to Andrade. Or
Fuck.
Flair.
Zach just said the same thing. He said someone clip it. Fuck. I'm fucked. She's never going to see it anyway, so. But in case you do, fuck you, Charlotte. There we go. All right, that's all I had to say. So, now that we've made it through our moments of WWE. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the normal format on this, but we all know what the moment of the week is.
Yeah.
The big moment of the week. But
we might as well.
Yeah, but just to keep it going for the sake of normality, Johnny, what's your moment for AEW this week?
I mean, it's the main event.
Exactly.
Right? We had Kenny Omega versus Hijo de Vikingo, the AAA Mega Champion, and they got like the last 30 minutes of the show. They put on what has to be another match of the year candidate. Kenny Omega's second match of the year candidate after Will Ospreay. But yeah, just the things that Vikingo can do. It's hard to find any other wrestler, let alone a luchador, that can do all the moves that he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically, Kenny backstage sure told him, okay, this is going to be a showcase match for you. Just throw me around as much as you can. And he did.
Yeah, Kenny's back there just like, just don't hurt me, and we will be fine.
Yeah. But there were a lot of spots that I've never seen before, like some moves I've never heard before, like a Dragon Rana. He did from the top to the outside, where he actually caught Kenny into a head scissor and then flips him over almost like a catapult.
Yeah, there was he was on the second rope outside of the ring, facing towards the crowd,
Inverted.
inverted. He springboarded back in, and it was a 360, I think.
A 630.
No. That was to the
Oh, that was
outside of the
different.
ring through the table.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you got dyslexic there for a minute.
No. But when he did the inverted 360
Yes.
from the second rope to the inside of the ring, what the fuck, dude?
Okay, and then he did do a 630 onto Kenny through a table.
Yeah.
And the table was so close to the ring, I think he may have hit his head.
I've
the way
seen
down.
the video. Somebody was able to get a side view of it because the camera view was on the front, so you couldn't see it real well. But someone pulled a side view of it, and yeah, the table was way too close to the fucking ring. He bumped the back of his head.
But that didn't phase him.
Nope, didn't phase him, dude. This is to all the people that were talking shit.
Yeah.
Whenever they announced that this match was going to happen. And it was Kate from Fightful. Sean said it as well. It was said by a whole bunch of people. If this was back in the 90s, you just sit there and enjoy an amazing match and discover new people.
Right.
But it having internet and all this shit where everything is so easily accessible, how do you not know who this is? How do you not hear a name and try and find out more about him? It's so easy to do. So half of these people that were bitching about it wouldn't be able to survive back in the 90s, when you would just go to house shows and people would just either get over on TV or just get over on live crowds. This is how you discover people, folks. Just enjoy the ride, man. And if anything, it didn't hinder Vikingo any from losing to Kenny.
No.
Because now, coming into this week, he's got some insane matches coming up.
Yeah, I'll tell you about those matches later, but yeah, it's incredible the exposure that he got from not only this match but the matches he's gonna have coming up.
Yeah, and go ahead.
This also sets up a match down the line for the AAA Mega Championship with Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
which I expect could be on one of the Triple Manias this year in Mexico.
I would say do it on the first one.
Yeah.
Don't hold back. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and do it. Here's the comparison I'm going to make. This is how this is the comparison I'm going to make. Even though Action Andretti doesn't have as much respect on his name as Vikingo does, because he has respect on his name. This was like Action Andretti versus Jericho. We didn't know who the kid was. Like, we know he had some matches here and there. And even though Vikingo has had way more matches and more exposure than Action Andretti, it was the same type of crowd where some of them knew who he was, but a lot of them didn't, or it was their first time seeing him live. And he just went out there, did his thing, won the crowd over, and you're a star. So now, and this is what I told Johnny after we saw this match. Vikingo has been likes to stay in his Mexican promotion bubble, which has worked for him. to this day. But now it's time to fucking spread them wings, man. You gotta start taking more signings. You gotta start working with different companies. Like, you need to get more TV time with AEW. You need to get that graphic, man. Like, go to Ring of Honor. Do something. Like, he needs to do something with this. He just needs to be more available to do US dates and shit, is what I think. And just start going all over the place. Go New Japan. Like, fucking do some shit over there. Do what you gotta do, man. But he is way too good to not do it. I'm happy. I'm happy we got this match. And if you couldn't tell, I am very happy that we got this match. So, now that we got Johnny's moment in there, we really don't have that many moments to choose from this week for AEW because we still haven't gotten Rampage yet.
Yeah, it's coming on tonight.
Yeah, it's
in about
coming
45
on tonight.
minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah. So to move this along so we can wrap up and be able to watch it, I'm gonna go over to Drew and get his moment for AEW Dynamite this week.
I'm going to, just to pick something different than this, because we all know this was everybody's moment.
This was it.
Yeah.
And even you have to even include the beatdown afterwards.
Yes, because the beatdown afterwards actually had to do with something that happened at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So I was actually going to go with the match to kick off the show, which was Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Sting versus Kip Sabian, Butcher, and the Blade. And the only reason I'm bringing this up because Sting, at 64 years old, still knows how to work a crowd.
Yeah, and
have them eating out of his hand.
He just turned 64 this week.
Yeah. And when he walked up behind Kip Sabian and did the little kicks like Orange Cassidy did, and where Kip Sabian thought it was Orange Cassidy behind him, it was funny as hell.
It seemed like lately Orange Cassidy has been getting the opening match on Dynamite every week.
Seems like it.
I don't mind.
I don't mind it either. But I'm going to tell you what I like the most.
And it was funny because you had Sting with the whole face paint, Darby half the face, and Orange Cassidy had an O and a C on his cheeks, just so he could have his face painted to match his partners, which I thought was kind of cool.
But
in character, he half-assed it.
This match actually came from something that happened at the live event last week.
Yeah,
because it was Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Butcher and the Blade, and Kip Sabian interfered, and so then they made the challenge for the trios.
Yeah, and in the end, after Sabian turned around, Sting hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop, got the win. And afterwards, you see Darby Allin staring at the Double or Nothing graphic, because we all know he wants that title shot. But Orange Cassidy grabs his sunglasses and puts them on Sting.
It's AEW's version of the WrestleMania thing.
Evidently, yeah. Were they going to start pointing to it? Oh.
And when I was going to say what my favorite part of this whole match was, and then you said it exactly. Right when I said that, you went where I was going to go with it. Orange Cassidy's like Sting face paint to match his team, where it just had the O and the C. That was my favorite. That was my funniest favorite part of
And it
that
was
whole
funny
thing.
because Tony Schiavone goes, "What's on Orange Cassidy's face?" And Taz goes, "It's an O and a C for Orange Cassidy." And Tony goes, "Oh, it is, isn't it?"
Yeah, man. I loved it. I loved it. Great way to open up the show and a great way to end the show. Everything in the middle was pretty damn great as well for the most part. Um, for my moment, I mean, we all know what my moment is, but how do you prepare Stokely Hathaway for a match? But then you hear them in the background during this whole match, and they're just like, "Fuck, we didn't prepare him for hardcore spots, did we?"
And they knew it was a no disqualification match.
Yeah, like
They
you
knew this, but they didn't
knew,
prepare him for hardcore.
you knew it was a no DQ match, and yet you didn't prepare him for him. So
And they're all
you
going, "Oh my
failed
God, we didn't work on
Stokely.
hardcore." That was funny.
Yeah, you failed Stokely, man. And
Yes,
and
y'all did.
and okay, I laughed the most whenever he showed our Dapper Yapper
Yeah, the doctor
his
note.
doctor's note, which was on a fucking Wingstop receipt, and all
Yeah,
it said was he's sick.
Justin Roberts pointed that out on the house mic.
Ah, man.
And then the referee took it and ripped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love this, man. Like, we all knew Stokely didn't stand a chance, but
And we
just
thought he
to
was
make
gonna,
it so silly
yeah.
was great.
And we thought Hook might get his first pinfall win, but no, he pulled Stokely up, and put him in the red rum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just great, man. I'm just glad we got to see all this before the shitstorm of Thursday.
I hope Stokely enjoyed his dinner. his his wing stuff.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with some wing stuff. I love that shit.
Yeah, actually, we might be having that for Mania Night too next.
Oh, we having that Mania night too, bro.
Yeah, we are.
Cause like even though, don't get me wrong, pizza is really damn good, but we've had it every single time we've done a watch along.
Yeah,
It's time to switch it up. So yeah,
yeah,
wings it is that day.
yeah.
So yeah, man, just some really good moments from AEW
Oh,
this week.
and you know, I hinted at earlier, but the show started before or the trios match. They were in the back. There was an ambulance there. Kenny was out there. Hangman was out there. Uh, Someone attacked the Young Bucks, and they were taking him in the ambulance. Kenny wanted to go, but Callis said, "No, you got to stay and get ready for your match." So Hangman said he would go. He went in the ambulance with Matt Jackson. Then later on, Moxley went and faced Stu Grayson. After the match, Stu Grayson was in the training room, and BCC attacked him backstage. After that main event that we already discussed, Tony Schiavone was interviewing Omega in the ring, and BCC came out and started jumping him. Then you hear the sound of the ambulance.
Which was weird.
I've heard, yes,
Inside.
Steiner.
I've heard, yeah, exactly. I've heard a lot of people say it was Scott. They thought it was Scott Steiner. No, don't. Okay, we already have a possible Goldberg in AEW. Don't put Scott
Oh,
Steiner.
don't even. No, this isn't the week for that.
Yeah, but so anyways, here comes the ambulance, and it's Hangman. He's totally ambulance. He got out, came to the ring. His music played. He had a 2x4 with nails in it, and to fend off the BCC, they left the ring. Kenny is still down on the mat, and Don Callis is there in the ring, and well, I guess Hangman went towards Don Callis, and Callis he fell to the mat, acting like Hangman hit him with the board. And Kenny saw that. Kenny's like, what are you doing? And Callis is over there pointing to Hangman, saying that he hit him, and just acting like an asshole.
He pulled an Eddie. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, he pulled an Eddie, man. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. So this creates tension between Hangman and Omega, but then it could also be a sign that maybe Callis might even turn on the Elite.
I think there's a pretty good chance that...
I think he's trying to get Kenny to go solo again and leave the Elite.
Yeah, I think so.
And don't get me wrong, I really want like an AEW version of the cleaner / belt collector Kenny. Just not like this. If that's what he's going to be, he can still be associated with the Young Bucks. I just don't want it to be him and Don Callis. So, one way or another, I hope that the Young Bucks and Hangman are able to get Kenny to watch the show. Because all you got to do is watch a clip of the show and you'll see exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I'm all for a Kenny single run, but just not like this. He needs to move away from Don Callis. But, yeah, man. Like I said, just some really good shit from AEW that we'll always love. So, hell yeah. Before we wrap up, I'm going to go over to Johnny, and he's going to give you the rundown of everything that's going on Mania week. I'm going to say week. It's the whole damn week something's going on.
Okay. Yes, so next week is WrestleMania weekend. Not just WrestleMania weekend, but all pro wrestling weekend pretty much in the city of Los Angeles, California, and surrounding towns. So here's a rundown of what's going on from Thursday to Sunday, March 30th through April 2nd. So we start out, WWE is going to take over the Los Angeles Convention Center from Thursday to Sunday with fan access, and they'll also have meet and greets there. Then WrestleCon is going to be taking place at the Billmore in Los Angeles, where there'll be meet and greets there from tons of wrestlers, both past and present. Some of the wrestlers, I know Mercedes Moné is going to be there, FTR, Will Ospreay, Adam Cole, Goldberg, Brutus Beefcake, Asha Kong. You name the wrestlers, they're probably going to be there. The list is just too long to go through. And I tried looking through the list. They do it in alphabetical order too. So I went and saw names like Alan Angels and Brian Keith, whoever that is. But there's just tons of wrestlers. Also at the Globe Theater, they're going to have several events on Thursday and Friday.
Brian Keith is an actor, I think.
Oh, he is. Oh. Well, I don't know why he's going to be there. His name was on the list, so go to WrestleCon.com to check that out. Check out the whole list. But at the Globe Theater, there's going to be several events. On Thursday, we have Prestige Wrestling is going to have an event called Nervous Breakdown. No, Thursday night, and this is Pacific time, 8 p.m. Pacific. Impact New Japan are going to have a multiverse event, and this is where Alexander was going to take on Kushida, but he got injured, so I don't know what the makeup for that is as of yet. In fact, let me see if I can give you a rundown here. Oh, maybe they have that card on here. All right. No, that's. I'm on the Fight app. That was sacrifice. That was last night. Here it is. Multiverse. Eh, yeah, Multiverse United. Let me see if it has a list of some of the matches here. Uh, okay, let's see. Okay, okay. We got former Impact wrestler or champion Moose against Jeff Cobb. We have Speedball Mike Bailey's gonna. He was gonna take on Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay unfortunately is also injured. He got injured during the New Japan Cup, so now Mike Bailey gets Tanahashi. Uh, so that's Thursday. Friday, Tokyo Joshi Pro is going to have an event as well. I know some wrestlers on there like Billy Starks and Yuka Sakazaki and Maki Ito are going to be on there as well. Let's see. Friday night is Super Card of Honor at the Kia Forum, which you have the ROH title. Claudio's going to go defend against Eddie Kingston. You got the ROH TV title with Samoa Joe going to take on Mark Briscoe. It's going to be a good one. Got the Reach for the Sky ladder match with Lucha Bros, Rush and Dralisico, The Kingdom, Aussie Open, and Top Flight. You got Athena defending the women's ROH women's title against Yuka Sakazaki. And then you also have, we just talked about him, Vikingos going to defend the AAA Mega title against Commander. Huge card there.
That's going to be held mostly above the ropes. Oh.
Yes. And that's also the GCW are going to be taking over the Ukrainian Cultural Center Thursday through Sunday to have the GCW Collective, which is what it is. It's a collection of 12 shows over 4 days, 3 on each day. Some of the highlighted shows would be on Thursday, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, where Mike Bailey is going to go against Kota Ibushi, which is one of the main matches. Then, and this is just on Friday, okay? Because Mike Bailey has that match on Thursday with Tanahashi. Friday, he has Ibushi. Friday night, Joey Janela's Spring Break. Mike Bailey's, who was he going to be taking on? Oh, yeah, of course, Vikingo.
I was about to say, didn't you just say Vikingo?
Yes, I just had a brain fart there. But yeah, so Vikingo's not only wrestling in 2 matches Friday, he's wrestling back-to-back matches because he has to be at the Kia Forum to take on the Commander, and then later that night he's got to go over to the UCC to take on Mike Bigley. Plus, there's 3 more events Saturday, 3 Sunday. You got Effie's Big Gay Brunch on Saturday. And you got early events that start like at 10 a.m. in LA time. Then WWE is going to be taking over the Bitcoin.com center arena, which used to be a Staples Center. All the non-WrestleMania events will be there. SmackDown and Hall of Fame on Friday. Wake up early Saturday morning to watch NXT Stand and Deliver. I think, well, I know over in LA it's going to be like a 10 a.m. start.
So it'll be noon here.
Yeah. So, and then you got the Raw after Mania on Monday. And then you got the big ones, which is the WrestleMania night 1 and 2, Saturday and Sunday at SoFi Stadium. So, and there's some smaller events that I didn't even mention. So, a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to if you're going to be in LA, or if you just want to watch on TV. Most of these events are going to be available either. I know all the WWE stuff is going to be on Peacock. All the ROH and Impact is going to be on. Well, ROH is on BK or BK. The what is called BR Sport app. Impact's on pay-per-view. If you have a VPN like Freddie and I do, you can watch all that on Fight as well, internationally. Also, if you have Fight Plus, you can watch all the GCW shows. If you don't want to pay that big price, that $100+ for the whole collective, hey, Fight Plus is just $7.99 a month, so you can do that as well. There's something for everybody if you're a wrestling fan. This is the Super Bowl week of wrestling.
It sure is, man.
It's going to be a lot to take in.
Yeah. Even if we try and watch as much as we can that weekend, if you try and go through the whole catalog of every show from that weekend, it's going to take you quite a bit to finish it all up. So.
Yeah, you literally need, if you have a job, you literally need a vacation.
Yeah.
To watch everything.
Yeah, you really do. But like Johnny said, there's a little something for everybody that weekend. So just gotta pick and choose the ones you want to watch. So hell yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So if I seemed a little distracted during that whole bit of yours, this is why. Are y'all ready for me to read out another CM Punk Instagram post?
Is this a new one?
This is a new one. And this shit is getting ridiculous, man. Alright, I have it.
Breaking news right here.
I don't have it on my PC, so I can't put it on there, but this is new. So,
okay.
He says, you know they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix. Your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33.3% chance of winning.
Not the Steiner math.
He's busting out the Steiner math. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning. Because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance, minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we was to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got a 141 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. Senor Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Well, CM Punk You missed it. Sacrifice was last night.
Yeah. Does someone have to call in a wellness check? Like,
Is
what's
he
happening,
We might need
bro?
Is he losing his mind?
We might need to.
Okay, look.
He just recited a promo from 15 years ago.
Don't get me wrong. Like, this is entertaining and I'm laughing nervously, but I'm laughing. But at the same time, like, something's not right. I'm scared for him. I'm scared for us. We said that, like, we don't need to hear any more CM Punk, like, antics throughout the week because it's just gonna distract everybody from the amazing wrestling shows that are gonna happen. But not even an hour after we said that shit, and there's another Instagram post that someone screenshotted floating around. Oh, he's gonna draw all the attention this week, isn't he?
He's going to try, probably.
Well, so far he's winning, so might as well start calling him Charlie Sheen. But yeah, man, this is gonna be a very entertaining week, one way or another, and in many different ways from the sounds of it. So, hell yeah, we'll look forward to that shit. But like always, to see how it goes, it is time to stump the brain. Hopefully, with my question, if you found the answer.
Well, since it's your question, I'll let you ask him.
Oh shit, dude. Okay. Ooh, I'm happy here. But you got the answer. All right.
Yes,
Hold on.
I got the answer.
I'm not used to this, so I gotta get it. All right. Here we go. The first person to point at the WrestleMania sign was John Cena. Fuck John Cena.
Yes.
Who was the second person to point at the WrestleMania sign?
Edge.
Did he get it?
In 2010.
No. You missed a year.
Was it Randy Orton?
Yes, it was Randy in 2009. Next year. I have proof.
See, I kind of had a feeling it would have been Randy Orton too, but I was like, did they really just point at the sign every year since 2008?
Pretty much.
Jeez.
See, so this just goes to show that Twitter is good for something. It gave me the stump the brain question for today, so that felt very different, and not gonna lie, it felt good. It felt good to contribute in a different way.
Oh, just y'all wait. I might get y'all one day. I got a question percolating.
Oh shit, he's gonna turn it around.
And actually, he just gave me another question that I can ask next week.
He's gonna flip it on us, but yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a very interesting week. Everybody pay close attention to Instagram. We're all on CM Punk watch because he's over there trying to get all the attention.
Yes. Yeah, he's going to take as much attention away from WrestleMania as he can.
So, when we have a watch on someone, that's because they want to. So, is this like him committing wrestling suicide? Oh.
Ooh. Rough takes today. All the rough takes between Charlotte.
I'm just saying. But when you have someone, you watch someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
We know he's not going to do that, but hey, might kill his career.
It's career suicide. It's what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Get it right. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling this isn't the last Instagram post we see. But like always, if you have any questions or comments, WrestleLost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a follow here on Twitch and on YouTube. Things are coming. We'll just leave it at that. So, hell yeah, lots of great shit. CM Punk watch, the whole bit. So, hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend, and we will come at you on next weekend with different kind of show. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yep. We got Mania Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting night. So, hope everyone enjoys the rest of their weekend, and we will see y'all then.
See you next week.
Check you later.